What's up, y'all? In this video, we're gonna talk about how to handle any objection. So if you're getting to the end of your sales calls and your prospect is hopping off, they're saying, hey, I need to think about it. I need to talk to my wife. I need to see if this price makes sense and really make a good decision. I need to think it over. I'm gonna show you the process to handle that and any other objection in this video, and hopefully help you close more deals, sign up more clients, make more money, and create a bigger impact. Let's go. So when I first started my business, I thought the best way to get clients, the way you should sign up a new client, talk to them, see if they're a good fit. After that, send them a proposal, send them a video. This is what we're gonna do. This is how much it's gonna cost. Pay, sign the agreement, make sure we're all in, everything makes sense for you. And what I realized is I would hop off the call. The client's like, yeah, send it over. We're ready to get started. 1 week went by, didn't hear from them. 2 weeks go by, didn't hear from them. A month goes by and you never hear from them again. And I'm like, why are we not closing these clients? Why am I hopping off the call? And they're like, yeah, I'm ready to do it. And they never do it. So if you are not signing clients up on the call, you're missing a ton of business. And when we started doing this, everything changed. And the key to signing clients up on the call is to be able to overcome their objections. Get to the bottom of what they're really thinking and be able to handle, change their perspective, ultimately close the deal and collect the money. All right, so we're gonna talk about right now how to do that. Step number one, the first step in this is you need agreement. We train this all the time, and new salespeople or people who aren't as experienced in sales, what they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, I completely understand, I got it. And that's the extent of their agreement. In sales, what's the number one rule? Always agree. But so many people get this wrong. So many people are like, yeah, I understand. When we teach agreement in our programs and our mentorships, you need to deeply agree. Not just say, I understand, I get it, but really go another level. An example of this would be like, hey, I need to think about it. Okay, awesome. I want you to make the best decision for you. This is a big investment. It's gonna be a big opportunity and you need to make the right one. So taking the time that you need is super important. How much time do you think you need? Like, when can we hop back on a call, follow up and just see if, you wanna do it or you don't. When's a good time? Pause, okay? What I did there is I went ahead and I agreed. He's saying I need to think about it. I wanna get off the call. What I did is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna schedule the call on the calendar. I'm literally gonna schedule a call with him, follow up. Knowing the whole time I'm gonna try to come back around and we're gonna handle his objection, I'm just getting in deep agreement. So this is a huge example of actually getting deep agreement. Hey, go ahead, put the calendar on the call to follow up. And it just shows them, hey, I'm not trying to hold you or try to sign you up for anything that you don't want to be signed up for. And it just creates that deep understanding. This is very important. If you're just saying, I get it, understand, and you're not showing that you really, truly get what they're feeling, get what they're thinking, you're never gonna close it. So get that understanding, get that agreement so it feels real. Step number two, after you've got deep agreement, it's real, you're gonna isolate the objection. And how do you do this, okay? So here's the objection. I need to think about it. You're gonna take it and you're gonna move it to the side. We're gonna almost quarantine it over here. What does that do? It takes the objection, brings it by itself, and now you're gonna go back through all the other objections that could possibly be coming up for this prospect. So just for me, do you think that everything I showed you today is real? Okay, great. They're gonna say yes. Do you think it'll work for you? Yeah, okay, great. Do you think like I'm a good guy, I'm cool, we'd have a good working relationship? Okay, great. So I'm just going through some of the objections that it could possibly be so I can rely on that agreement later and they're not gonna come back to it, okay? And if they do, we know we have a new objection that we need to handle and we're just gonna isolate it and go back. Do you have like the time? Do you have 3 hours a day you can spend, working on this program? Okay, great. And you don't want to do too many of them. Like, you need 3 or 4 that you go through. So now once you've gone through some of the other objections, you're gonna go back and you're gonna pull the isolated one over and you're gonna dive into it. So what is it about this that you need to think about? And now a lot of times they're gonna go deeper into their objection. They're gonna be like, well, I guess it really is a big investment. Then what's gonna happen? You're gonna continue to agree, and then you're gonna identify the one thing that's keeping them from starting. So is it just the investment that's really keeping you from getting started today? Now that we know that it's just the investment, it's the money that's keeping them from getting started, which by the way, y'all, it's never really the money. If they saw the value, they would sign up. But in this case, we know they're saying it's just the money and we can attack it head on. So we're still in step 2. Number 1, was agree. Number 2 was isolate the objection. Here's the big reason for doing this. People are not going to shoot it to you straight. They're going to tell you one thing, and the purpose of isolating the objection is to make sure that you go through those other objections and there aren't any other objections that are coming up. And when a prospect doesn't actually tell you their real objection, you know the communication is off. I'm telling you, buyers are liars. They're gonna tell you one thing and mean something completely different. While you isolated the objection and you're going through the other ones, look for any cues that may be like, hey, this is really what they're thinking. They may come up with a different objection. They may say something that, yeah, I kind of believe it's real, and the trust may be off. So start to look for those cues, and that way you can identify them. And this is the most important part about overcoming any objection. You have to understand their real objection. They may tell you it's price, but they really don't see the value. They may say, I need to think about it so I don't make a bad decision, but they're really scared of the investment. So this is why isolating the objection is so important. Step 3, handling the objection. All right, so when you handle an objection, it requires you need to confront the truth. You cannot be scared to confront their objection, but more importantly, confront their way of thinking. If the product or service you're selling can really change their life, can really help them, and you know it can, it's your duty to do everything you can to get this person started and signed up for the program. And to do that, sometimes you're gonna have to help change their perspective. So we've gotten to the bottom of their real objection and they're just scared of the investment. So now we're gonna go into what we like to call consultant mode, or we're gonna coach them up a little bit and hopefully change their way of thinking, give them some new information that'll help them get started with you today. So I'm gonna agree and be like, yeah, man, dude, I completely get it. Here's what I know about people who become multi-millionaires and the people who never make it. The successful people, they focus on the opportunity instead of the obstacle. A snowboarder focuses on the path, not the tree. So I know you like snowboarding, right? If you're a snowboarder, you focus on the path, and if you focus on the tree, what happens? Yep, you run into the tree. So what I would say to you is shift your attention from the investment it's gonna take to get started and turn it to 1 or 2 pieces of information that are gonna help you make 6 to 7 figures in the next 1 to 2 years. Because the difference between you right now and the people who are making 6 to 7 figures a month is the information that they're operating off of. I'm getting agreement from them, right? Yeah, perfect. Let's just say this, man, 100%, I could guarantee you that you're gonna make 100K from your investment. Do you have $5,000 liquid right now you can invest into this? You do? Okay, perfect. Let's do this. Since I'm not a fan of having people in debt to us, let's put $3,500 down today. In 30 days, in a month, we'll put the remaining $1,500 down. And if in a month you haven't started making money or you haven't started seeing that progress, we'll take that $1,500 payment and move it down another month. So you really have the time to get started and actually start making your money and actually start seeing a return on your investment. Sound fair? Okay, perfect. And there it is. Now you're ready to close them. Sign them up for your product, sign them up for your service. And all it took was giving the prospect a little coaching, a little game. We call it consultant mode. And pretty much locking arms, jumping off the cliff and flying. Being there with the prospect, helping them see it differently by saying, hey, don't focus on the obstacle. Don't focus on what it's gonna cost to get started. Let's focus on the opportunity and what we can create from this program. So this is the process to handle any objection. Number 1, agree. Number 2, isolate the objection, go through the other objections, and finally handle the objection. And sometimes that's gonna take a little coaching, a little consultant mode to help them change their way of thinking. I'll say it like this, it doesn't matter the objection, this process will work for any objection, it doesn't matter. That's it. If you're interested in working with us in our digital closer or mentorship program, in the bio, I put a link to our application. At this point, we can't take on everyone, so if you don't get accepted, just know it's all love. We can't help everybody right now. We're working on growing and working on getting bigger. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you wanna see more like it, hit the like button and turn on the notification bell. We're gonna be dropping a lot more content that's gonna help you become a digital closer and work from anywhere in 30 to 60 days. The target is to help you make 100K from your laptop, from your cell phone, being a digital closer. Y'all, let's get it. We'll see you soon.